the only 4 reasons for anybody leaving the safety of employment, the safety of a regular paycheck, is to do one of 4 things, if not all 4 of them, right? It's to have more fun. In other words, they believe that if they go away and they do things in their way, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable than sticking to the rigid structures of somebody else's business. Maybe they want more freedom, breaking away that I can do what I want, when I want, how I want, with who I want, in whatever place I want, right? I mean, look, I'm out here in Thailand right now, just having finished the Guru project, and I spend about 3 months of the year out here. Certainly having that freedom to come and go as I please was a major driver for me. What else are they looking for? Well, that financial success, that idea, like nobody goes and sets up a business of their own in the belief that they're going to make less money than they're currently making, right? You're drawing like $1,000 a month as a paycheck. You don't go, hey, I'm going to go and set up my own business, and if I'm really lucky, I'll earn 500. You're imagining that you're going to earn multiples of that. So you've got that financial side, and then of course you've got that perspective of that fulfillment. Like if I'm doing things how I want to do it, with who I want to do it with, in places that I get to choose on terms of my own choosing, then it's going to be a lot more fulfilling too. So fun, freedom, financial success and fulfillment, they're really the only reasons to set up any business. But now when you look at the life of the average coach, the life of the average entrepreneur, you'll find that they're living something very, very different. What was supposed to be great fun has turned into something that kind of turns into toil and trauma and drama and you know, kind of that dredging their way through, doing all kinds of things they never ever expected to nor wanted to do with their lives or their businesses, kind of sorting out the taxes, sorting out the marketing, working out the stats on the Facebook stuff, kind of fixing out marketing funnels and all of that other stuff that they never really got into coaching for in the first place. So the fun side of things are gone. What about the freedom? Well, actually, instead of having a job where they were able to go in at 9 and leave at 5 and kind of essentially the rest of their life is their own, what you now find is that many of these people are working more hours. They're kind of getting up really early in the morning to check their emails, to sort through their inbox, to tweak their funnels and tweak their ad streams. And then after their day of working with clients is over, they're working late into the evening, kind of writing blog posts and doing copy and all that kind of stuff. So now they're less free than they've ever been. And what about the financial side? Well, when you break it down, yes, many of them are actually charging more to the individual client than they've ever been able to charge before. But what you find is that they've got very few clients to work with. Or maybe it's gone the other way. Maybe they've found that the only way that they can actually get plenty of clients to fill their funnel, so to speak, is to have lots and lots of clients coming and seeing them relatively cheaply across the course of the day. And what about the fulfillment side? Well, what you'll find is that if you're not having as much fun, if you're not experiencing as much freedom, if the financial success hasn't come, then you're pretty damn sure that the fulfillment's not there either. So all of those reasons for leaving and starting up your own business have all gone out the window. So I guess the real question is, how did everything that was once so good get so bad? I know that sounds kind of dramatic, but you think about it, like how did someone who kind of saw the world as their oyster and said, yes, I'm going to branch out and I'm so excited, I'm going to have my own business and I'm going to have all the fun, the freedom, the financial success, and I'm going to be so fulfilled. How did it go from that to this stress, burned out, overwhelmed condition that we find so many entrepreneurs, so many coaches in at the moment? Well, I think it's simply the case of too many chiefs. Too many chiefs, right? So you think about it, you first break out and you open your own business up, and what do you need? You need some clients, right? So the very first thing you do is you go and hunt out some marketing expert who says, well, this is how you should run a funnel. And it sounds all cool, it sounds all fine and dandy, and you go and start building a funnel over here. And then you find another expert who gives you a bit of advice about Facebook advertising. So, right, well, this is how you've got to drive your leads in. And then you find another expert who says, this is how you've got to do this, and another expert who says, this is how you've got to do that. And before you know it, instead of having one boss like you used to have in your old employment before you broke out and did things for yourself, you've now got like 10, 15 bosses who are all telling you that essentially the way you're currently building your business is wrong, and that you need to make more effort over here, and you need to make more effort over here, and that you're not spending enough time and not putting in enough hours over here. And before you know it, all of that freedom that you set your business up for in the first place has basically disappeared. Okay, and it's no one's fault. I don't for 1 minute think that any of the mentors who are teaching about traffic, about funnels, about Facebook, about any of these things, I don't think that any of them are teaching anything wrong per se, and I don't think they're teaching anything in a nasty way. Like, they're not looking to see anyone fail. But what most of us have kind of forgotten is that each one of these people who set up these businesses are doing exactly what they want to do in the way that they want to do it. In other words, they have, through their business, they have fun, freedom, financial success, and fulfillment, right? And they immediately assume that because it's working for them, it's going to work for us over here, when in reality, that's simply not the case. And it's certainly not the case when we've got 10, 15, 20 people with all different and often opposing views telling us how to run our businesses. Okay, before you know it, we get burnt out, we get stressed, we get overwhelmed, we get despondent, and we start to believe that none of this stuff works.